Well, we're underneath the hood of our 1968 Chevy Nova. This is a Yanko type tribute car, style car. It definitely has a big block in it. There's no question about that. I don't know the exact displacement of this, but I can assure you it's at least a 454. Has aluminum heads, GM performance parts. It's a big block Chevy for sure. I'm going to say it's a crate motor, air gap, Edelbrock intake manifold, Hawley carburetor, vacuum secondaries. About a 2-inch, it's at least a solid 2-inch ceramic coated long tube headers on it. The billet style aluminum tall valve pan covers on it really gives this thing a lot of mass to it whenever you look at it under the hood. Aluminum water pump. And this is all new, by the way. I'm assuming this is a 454. We really don't know without pulling an engine down. It could be a 502. It could be a 496, 468. We don't know. But for sure, it's a big block Chevy, aluminum heads, air gap intake manifold. Power steering, power brakes, new booster, new master cylinder. Well, we're going to get underneath it and get more into it, but it definitely has a Hotchkiss suspension on it, a AA arm front. The alternator is new. All the belts are new. It does have a GM high-capacity radiator on it with a flex fan and the correct shroud that would go along with this. A brand new battery in it also. The heater for the passenger compartment is still intact and operational. Fender wells are satin black the way they should be, under hood the same way. Radiator core support is completely undisrupted in any way. Really a nice clean engine compartment. It does have an MSD ignition system on it with an MSD distributor setup also on it. New plug wires, high silicone. Gee, let's see where we can spend more money on this thing. It's got about everything that you could hang under this engine compartment is intact in here. It's a great looking engine compartment. The car runs and drives as it looks also. But let's close this door. We don't know what the horsepower is. It would just be speculative on my part to guess it, but it's substantial. Let's go around the rest of the car, see what we can find for you. Obviously, it has a YSC designation on the hood, Kyle induction style hood. The gap on this thing is really nice. 427 designation on the side, the way it should be for a Yanko car. 1/8 of an inch the whole way around this hood, whole way around and clean up to the cowl area. Paint on the car is really nice. It's certainly above a driver quality finish on it. Fitment. A little bit off right here. This could use a little tweak. Chrome on the front, Chevrolet emblem. Everything as nice as could possibly be. Grill area, really nice. Aluminum grill, nice SS designation on the front. Everything around the headlights, your bezels are really nice. They're not pitted up whatsoever. These that are usually kind of funky looking get a little age to them. Both of these are about as nice as you could possibly get. The filler panel that's usually an issue on these cars is nice and painted an argent silver color, just the way it should be. Bumper fitment, let's see. It's about as nice as you're going to find. It's not going to fit much better than that. It's really nice. It's nice lateral fitment on it. Chrome on the bumper is absolutely stunning. Amber lights are nice and clear and shiny. No dents or dings in the front of the bumper from stones being kicked up through the years. Really a nice looking front end on this car. You know, the paint is really exemplary on the car. It's not like an average quality paint job. Someone's really spent a lot of time trying to get this car to fit, and the finish on it is just really as nice as you're going to find on a car. Great front end. Let's see what we can find on the side. Okay, driver's side of our YSC Nova. 427 Inset with the side marker lamp just the way it should have been in 1968. Check this out, torque thrust wheels just the way Yanko would have put them on in 1968, 9, and 70. It was his wheel of choice, really. Yanko YSC badging on the side. Front fender to door fitment could not possibly be any better. Correct wiper arms and blades on this car too. Trim around the windshield. No marks whatsoever, no scuffs or marks. It has to be a new windshield in this car. It's absolutely crystal clear. It is tinted also, by the way. The dashboard where it transitions onto the base of the windshield is as straight and nice and clean as you'd ever want to find. You're not going to find one any cleaner or nicer than that. It's just like the day it was born. Padded dash doesn't appear to have any cracks or marks or warpage whatsoever to it. These are brand new rubbers on this car around the wing areas. Vinyl top, obviously. There is no bubbling or marks underneath the vinyl anywhere. It's just as nice as could possibly be. Really, really great condition for the top. Grip rail, again, no marks at all. Anodized aluminum around the windows. Just flawless. Wipes, whiskers, as new as you could possibly find. Front and rear. They're both as nice as can possibly be. Bow tie mirror, correct style for this year of car. Door handle chrome is just spot on. It couldn't be any nicer. Look at that fitment. That's as nice as you're going to ever find a door fit, ever. Quarter panel. Rolled up in a little bit. No Bondo or no body work. Professionally rolled up. The inside to clear these larger tires in the back. Notice don't accept a very, very big tire in the back, so you have to give it a little bit more clearance. The metal is rolled up in instead of being cut off so that it does have rigidity to it. Done professionally. Again, and all tin too, by the way. There's no Bondo whatsoever in this. None. Rocker panel molding, straight as an arrow. No dents or deviations in it. Trim around the base of the vinyl top and around the back window. Back window appears to be tinted also. The hat shelf, the rack in the back, is absolutely gorgeous. It's as new as you'd find one. Absolutely new. Yanko Super Chevy designation on the back. Side marker lamp. Bumper fitment. Tell you what, down the side of this car, the driver's side, you'll not find a straighter, nicer car than this. Still haven't found any dings or dents in the body or imperfections in the paint. Really a good looking car. Really, really a nice looking car. Let's see what we find out back. Okay, back end of our YSC Nova. Again, the fitment of the deck lid is the same as the hood, just as nice and spot on as you could get. Nova designation. Yanko, his emblem on the back, just the way it should be. Again, the fitment of that deck lid is as nice and spot on as you're ever going to find. Trim around the tail lights, which are nice and shiny and bright yet. They appear to be all brand new, including the backup lights. And that bezel is just as new and fresh as you'd ever find. Super Sport designation on the back. All this trim around the back end is absolutely as positively as new as you could get. Rear bumper fitment. That's definitely spot on. You could not get any better. Chrome on the back bumper is really as nice as you could possibly find. A Yanko Cannonsburg sticker, because that's where they came from, it's Cannonsburg, PA. Chrome on the back of this bumper is just as nice and straight as you'd ever hope to find one. The back end of this car is really spot on. It could not be any more precise than it is at this point. Let's see what's on the passenger side, then we can go do our test drive and do our undercarriage video, and then you'll have all the ammunition you need to take a look at this guy. Okay, up the passenger side of our 68 Nova, Yanko style car. Again, you can hear it all tin. No Bondo. Paint on the quarter panel, Yanko SC. Really as nice as can be. Trim around the base of the vinyl top. Windshield trim, nice as you'd ever want to find. The hatch shelf is starting to pop loose on this end. We're going to have to get back there. It's cardboard, so it needs to be snapped back in underneath this piece of trim molding that transitions from left to right on the back part of this inside the rear glass. But we have to pop that back in place. You can't see it, but it's there for us to fix. Again, the wife's whiskers, as nice as could be. Vinyl top, there are absolutely no bubble, no imperfections in it whatsoever, absolutely none. Again, the trim around the windows, you can see with the whiskers and wipes, fit absolutely flawless. The rubber piece is tight up against the paint, just the way it should be. The whole way along here. I can't even hardly get my fingernail underneath it. It's there. Again, bow tie mirror where it belongs. Wipes, whiskers, really, really nice. Drip rail, flawless the whole way across. Door handle again, couldn't find one any straighter, any nicer. Again, the door fitment, look, that's as sweet as you'd ever want to find. Little tiny bit of a protrusion here for this fender. That could go in just a hair, certainly within production standards. I'm sure that's the way it was whenever the car was released in 1968. And like I said, it's within production standards. Cut my finger on the edge of that trim. But just as nice as can possibly be. Again, the rocker panel molding, no marks or no dents or no twists or anything in it. 427 with the side marker lamp. And we're back where we started, up front again. Wow, look at this, the hood fitment, the door, fender. That's as nice as you could possibly get. Trim around the windshield on this side the same way. No dents, no marks. We just went over this entire car and really didn't find any real imperfections in the car. It really looks good. It does have a set of torque thrusts on it, which would be era correct for this car. Yanko's wheel of choice, of course. All the 427 designation badges, plus all your Yanko badges where they belong on the car. 2 mirrors, left and right on the car. The chrome is just absolutely stunning on the car. It's a 68 Yanko style Nova. It's not a real Yanko. If this were a real Yanko, it's going to be in that $180,000 to $200,000 range. This car's not even close to that. It's a car that you're going to buy for a fraction of that money. Still going to perform. It's still going to do everything. All its functions the same as a real Yanko, maybe even a little bit better, because this has a little bit more motor than an L72 in it at this point. Take a look at it on your Hankster's website, because it's one that you probably don't want to pass by. If you're in the market for a Nova, 68 through 72 are the ones that everyone wants. This one is in, like I say, Yanko SC trim. It's a great color combination. It's like a seafoam green with black accents and the torque thrust wheels on it. You'll not find a nicer looking car or a better car or more solid car. Let's do the interior, see what we can find there. Well, we're inside of the 1968 Yanko style Nova that we have. Really a great car. Interior is the same on as the outside on this thing. I really can't see anything, just sitting in it real quick and taking a look, that I can point a negative to. But we're going to go over everything piece by piece and see if I can find something. Headliner tight as a drum. A little tiny bit of fading, a little milking around the very edge of the rear view mirror. The glass itself, obviously it's not going to hurt anything. It's not detrimental to anything. Original style sun visors. Shoulder belts in this car. Also seat belts in the front and seat belts in the rear. How about that? We got seat belts all around on this guy. Custom brand steering wheel in it. Actually does fit the decor of the car. It really actually does look good in the car. Dashboard just as nice and fresh as could possibly be. Again, the Yanko emblem on the dash. A quadrant of gauges on the original style console that would have come with a 68. Does have a tack in the dash also, so it has full instrumentation in this vehicle. All the trim around the clutch, brake, gas, and parking brake pedal are all nice and shiny yet. Door panels are as they were when they were new. Same as the door handles. This is the original one. So is that. So is that. All the window lines are the original ones. These start to show a little bit of amber color with age, and that's what they are showing. So we're going to call them original. The door panels themselves and the side panels in the back are as nice and fresh as you would ever find. You can see the padding in the front bucket seats and the rear seat. This is all new interior that's been redone, is padded up, and all new cushions in them, so you don't have any sag, any springs that are giving way through the age. Floor mats in the car, Yanko style floor mats. That has to be worth something. I didn't even know you could buy those anymore. Carpeting is as fresh and nice as can possibly be in this vehicle. Key to the whole operation is this guy right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. We got a 4-speed. How often do you see that in the car? Fantastic interior. I can't, even the dome light works in this thing. The car is just an exemplary car, exterior-wise and interior-wise. Mechanically, it's just over the top. You've got something stronger than an original L72 Yanko Camaro, or Nova. Cars available here at Hanksters in Daytona Beach, Florida, and it definitely warrants your consideration. You should take a look at this car. One of a kind. Working fine. Speedometer, I'm sure it's going to work. We're going to go out here and find out in a minute. That's the lights, I think. This is the wipers. The wipers are functioning as they should. We do have a horn button under here, so the horn does work. We have a quadrant of gauges down here. Temperature, which is just starting to come up. I know it works. Oil pressure, which is up. Fuel, which is close to a quarter of a tank. And battery, the voltmeter, which is functioning. It's a 4-speed car. Turn signals. Left turn is working. Right turn is working. Everything seems like it's working. We're in good shape. Let's see if we can drive it. Okay, let's see. Gotta wait till we get around the turn here. No hands on the wheel, straight down the road, not a problem, no issues. Just try brakes, no hands. Oh, guy behind me is getting a little upset though. Car goes down the road straight as an arrow. Got a nice sound to it. Hi, you're at Hanksters underneath a 1968 Nova Yanko style vehicle. A big block car, fantastic condition. On the outside, we're going to do the undercarriage now for you and point out whatever we can find for you. Does have a AA arm Hotchkiss style rear or front suspension on it. Brand new, appear to be Bilstein shocks in the front. Front disc brakes, new calipers, new rotors, new backing plates, new hardware. Heavy duty sway bar, new bushings with Zerk fittings on them. New steering box, new pitman arm, new idler arm. Appears to be fairly new tie rod ends on it. Long tube ceramic coated headers, of course, that you kind of expect on a vehicle like this. As you can see, there's no leaks whatsoever on the engine itself. It is a crate motor, from what we can tell, 454, possibly more than that. We can't really speculate as to what the actual displacement is without pulling an engine down and really knowing, but at this point we know it's at least a 454 for the designation that we have on the block. Subframes themselves are just as solid and nice as you'd ever want to find. Scatter shield, blow shield on the engine. M21 Muncie 4-speed transmission. 4-speed Hurst shifter. It does have the reverse light hookup on it also. Again, subframes, there's no marks whatsoever. I don't see anything at all on either one of these. Absolutely undisrupted. Just nice set of subframes on this. Floor pans in the front. It's hard to tell. They have a lot of splatter sound deadener undercoating that GM used to use, and of course Ford and Chrysler both used it in addition to General Motors. But there is some undercoating that looks to be the original undercoating on the vehicle yet. I don't see anything really that's been repaired on the front of this vehicle. Floor pan's really in great shape. Rear of the transmission itself, no leaks. Tranny itself, no leaks. And again, bell housing area, engine, you can see there's absolutely no leaks whatsoever on this driveline. The subframes have subframe connectors to them, front to back. Real nice stout set of subframe connectors, probably part of that suspension package that we have on the front of this thing. Pans toward the rear, again, totally undisrupted. I don't see anything whatsoever that's messed up on them. A new brake line toward the rear. Fuel line's been replaced partially anyway toward the rear of the vehicle. These are 2 1/4 inch pipes transitioning off of the 3.5 inch collectors that are off the long tube headers, and they do have an H pipe connector to them, you know, which adds a lot of mid-range and top end horsepower also to the car. So it's got a brand new exhaust system on it, great set of looking ceramic headers on it. No leaks on the drive line that are detectable at all. You can see the car was running and then we pulled it onto the rack and here it is. There's no leaks. Subframe connectors are really nice. The floor pans transition onto the rocker panels, which appear to be the original ones, and they're in excellent condition. Let's see what's on the back half of this that we can find for you. Okay, second half of our Yanko style Nova. Again, 2 1/4 inch pipes. Floor pans in the rear are just as sweet as they were in the front. Actually, there's no indication that they've ever been messed with whatsoever. Front spring hangers, torque boxes, really nice condition. The subframe connectors actually transition onto them, give it a lot more rigidity to the framework of this, and then they attach to the subframes at the rear part of the vehicle. Lakewood style traction bars on this vehicle. It is a multi-leaf rear suspension. Nice arch to the springs yet. There's no negative curvature or anything to them. And again, 2 1/4 inch pipes the whole way out. They're dumping out the behind the rear tires in the wheel well area, and just a nice set of exhausts on this car. Heavy duty 12-bolt Chevy rear end in this vehicle, posi rear end. Hotchkiss sway bar for the rear section of the vehicle also. It is a 12-bolt and it is heavy duty, there's no question, because it's needed in this thing. Disc brakes in the front, and the parking brake assembly is functional and still operational on this thing. So you do have a parking brake, even though it does have ventilated rear discs on it. Staggered shocks in the rear also, which are brand new. That one's toward the rear of the differential, this one's toward the front. So you do have a staggered shock system to help compensate for that torque bias. Gas tank itself appears to be either new or original in an excellent condition. Drop downs in the quarter panels, just absolutely undisrupted in any way. Bottoms of the quarters and the drop downs, everything look as though they were original from the factory. Doesn't look like anybody's really messed with any of the structural integrity of this vehicle at all. Cross member that transitions over across the back end to tie your two subframe sections together, just as it was when it was new. It's really, really in great condition. It has a transverse muffler in the back of it as opposed to under chassis mufflers, which a lot of people choose to put in instead of the transverse muffler. But again, you know, it's as new. It even has the factory type heat deflector to keep the heat from the muffler from radiating onto the gas tank area. Got a brand new round of rubber from what I can see under here, front and back. Great looking car underneath. You got the best of the best of the best here. Got a whole Hotchkiss suspension system, a great engine and driveline combination that does not leak any oil, at least at this point it doesn't. It's a great undercarriage. You can see all the intricacies of the welding and the spot welds and everything from the factory when they were new. It's a great looking car under here. I can't imagine you can find a nicer one than you have here. And it's available at Hanksters in Daytona Beach.